Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest in the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today's guest is Nancy Schnoll, and she is founder and CCO over at Reflekt. Nancy, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much, Adam, and thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, yes, this has been a long time coming. I know you were referred over to us by Andrew, who's done quite a bit of work for us on the production side, and he's like, you just have to meet this woman, Nancy, and she has this amazing skincare brand, Reflekt. You have to try it. You got to learn more about it. And I was like, okay, hey, I'm in. I know Andrew only sends us great people over, so finally we could make this happen. So Nancy, first thing, welcome to the show, and I can't wait to get into Reflekt. So thanks for making some time for us.
Oh, no worries. Thank you right back. I appreciate it.
All right, so just a little backstory for the audience. So Nancy, we were going to do this interview originally, and Nancy's like, oh, I'm going to send you out some product. And just so you know, usually when people come on there, they want to send products and things, and I'm always just, that you don't have to send it, like not a problem. Nancy's like, oh no, Adam, you have got to try Reflekt. And I have to just tell the audience that I am absolutely happy that I did. There's this 4-step process that Nancy's going to get into. So stick on the line and make sure that you listen to this episode in its entirety, because Nancy's going to go through that and also the background of it. But I guess, Nancy, just to get us kicked off, let's start a little bit earlier in the journey. Like, how did you come up with the idea for Reflekt? Like, where did that begin? Okay,
I actually was a working actor, and we had a tragedy in our family. We lost my mom to cancer. She was young, and it just changed the entire trajectory of my life. I mean, this is my third career, and I'm like a woman of many changes. So I think you just keep reinventing yourself on your journey, right? You just follow what feels right at the time. And after my mother passed, I just didn't feel that the entertainment industry felt like a fit any longer. So I had been luckily very fortunate to be exposed to these incredible beauty gurus, many of which were facialists. And one of them suggested, why don't you start branding and curating for me? You always know what's what. You're a tastemaker just naturally. How do you feel about this? And quite honestly, Adam, I was so like two sheets to the wind. I was like, yeah, that sounds good. I just was like, okay, because my heart was so broken, right? So I started branding and curating for these facialists, and they were all Eastern European, which is what is usually my choice for skincare gurus. They just train like a doctor, to be really transparent. So I love their knowledge. And all of them had their very own thoughts and idea on what makes beautiful skin. But the one consistent thing I kept hearing was that exfoliation and hydration is the key to beautiful skin. And I was like, And then I had a light bulb moment. And that moment was this. Wait a minute. What if I found a product? Because I bring in products in from all around the world, right?
Yeah.
And I thought, and I fit into all of these studios because lots of celebrities go there. I worked with a few of them. Like, I was very comfortable. I came and went as I pleased. It was like ideal. And I thought, what if I bring in a product where people can cleanse and exfoliate every single day to keep their skin in prime condition between their facial treatments? And I thought, this makes so much sense to me. I'm going to find that product. Well, I tell you, I scoured the entire universe, no joke, as far away as Dubai. I was in the Middle East. I was everywhere, Europe, all over, to no avail. They were either gunky, or they were too abrasive, or they didn't work at all, or I could go on and on as to the reasons, not important, but literally one of these top facialists said to me, would you be able to create it? I don't know what propelled this, but I was like, sure.
Oh, wow. Hold on. So you just said yes. I love this story. I love it. Wow.
But you have to understand that I almost failed chemistry in high school. My parents had to get me a tutor. Okay? Now we all know the truth. Like, I am not somebody who's great in the maths and sciences. God bless all those people. It's certainly not me. I'm a true artist. But what I do know is what people want. I have that tastemaker quality, and I'm ahead of the curve. So I really, as soon as I got lab, I had done so much research. And as soon as I got in there with the ugly plastic bonnet, watching them mix and say, what about this raw? What about that raw? That's when the magic started to happen. And I ended up creating this incredible product that cleansed, it exfoliated, and it also hydrated. And it was all my idea. And literally it started blowing up at these studios. Every celebrity is buying like 12 for their homes because they had so many homes and so many bathrooms. And I'm like, cool. And hence I went off and started Reflekt. I started with just the one product, Reflekt One, for 3 years, just one product.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's amazing. I love the story, and I love when someone just says yes, because obviously you've never done anything like this before, right? So this is a little bit different for you. What was it like to create the formulas? Like, I always wonder, what was that like?
I absolutely had never done anything like this. It was a very humbling experience, shall we say. These people are masterminds. They are very serious. They have a very different type of personality than what I was used to. I was used to artists and just people that were in the entertainment industry. It was very, very different, right? But we found a common language, and I think it was just through my passion and all of my research on my own that made that work. And it was so exciting. I really started to dig it. Who would have thought? Oh my gosh.
So one of the things that I'm always interested in when it comes to entrepreneurs and even products is when I get to talk to the founders is like, what's your vision for this? Like, what makes this different than other skincare brands?
Okay, I can answer you that question, Adam. We have a very unique point of differentiation, otherwise known as POD in the marketing world. We are exfoliation and hydration at every step. So right now we have 4 products. That is the core regimen. That will never change. I'll be stopping the new product development at 8 products, and the next 4 that will occur are treatment products. So they're not part of the core regimen. So right now we have 1 through 4, and it is a regimen 2 times a day, not a treatment. Now, exfoliation used to be just that, a treatment that was done 1 to 2 times a week. And that was it. That's all your skin could endure. We all used like apricot kernel products, and it rips your epidermal, your very top tissue on your face, your skin barrier function. It's very, very dangerous actually, because you need that as protection. So our first product, Reflekt One, the exfoliation is done through a jojoba ester bead. And this bead literally, I don't know if you noticed, but it melts as you're washing. And it gives your skin this tall drink of water. And then you're nourished back by the other raws and ingredients in the base of the product, which is hyaluronic acid, it's vitamin B5, it's vegetable collagen. It's these beautiful, nourishing ingredients that feed the skin back. So what happens is after you wash and you rinse, you feel supple and plump. You don't feel that bone dry. That's never a good thing for your skin. Yes, of course, you follow up with your serum and your face cream and an SPF on your eye, of course.
I thought, by the way, that bone dry feeling, so you don't know this about me, Nancy, but I've had friends and otherwise that they've fed me skin products and things like that for a long time. Let's just say, because I'm the face of the brand, they want to keep me looking young as long as possible, hopefully. So that being said, I thought that bone dry feeling that you're saying right now was just natural. Like that's the way it had to be or it's supposed to be. Like I didn't even know. Like, so when you're saying this, you're blowing my mind right now. I thought
I'm
that
so
was just
happy
it.
I can educate you. You have no idea how happy that makes me. That's my happiness.
Because I tried a lot of products and I didn't have that feeling, so I didn't know if I was, okay, I'm a guy, I'm sorry. I didn't know if I was doing it wrong.
No, you're absolutely. Most times when exfoliation is involved, there's usually, I can't say always, I don't want to speak for other brands, but there's usually a dryness that occurs, which is what made Reflekt so completely unique. I said, no, You can exfoliate. It can be gentle. It can be done not just one time a day, but 2 times a day. And I'll get into that also, why that's so important. But it will never hurt your barrier function. It will keep you supple and plump, and it will make you healthy. Your skin will actually be healthy and glowing. The reason you want to exfoliate 2 times a day, so you know, is because you shed so much skin, you have no idea. Okay? In doing that, you actually shed the most at night when you're sleeping in your restorative state of mind, when your body's in a restorative state, right? If I were to take one of those blue lights from like Dateline and shine it on your pillow, you'd be horrified what's on there in the morning. So it's very important for you to also do this process in the morning, right? And then your skin is primed for the day. And that does include, for women, any makeup you're putting on, plus all of your products, they go in deeper. They go in at a much deeper level. Think about it. If you have no top layer of dryness that's not allowing your products to penetrate, then they're not going to go in as thoroughly or as deeply. That's why people love
makes total sense.
Abrasion. That's right. That's why they love all of that. But that's only done, you know, every 4 to 6 weeks if you're, you know, really loyal to a facial. So this is every single day. It was very important to me to make our brand different, was to be affordable luxury. I wanted it to be gorgeous. And you want it on your bathroom sink. You want it sitting out, but it's not going to break the bank. There's lots of room for all of us, Adam, all skincare brands. I believe it. If you want to pay $350 for a cream, go for it. But I wanted everything under $100. And we've accomplished it. Our huge bottle of wash, which lasts more like 6 weeks, supposed to last 4, it lasted, it's $34. And it's just very affordable. I mean, you can't not have a job, but if you have a job, you can afford Reflekt. And it was important to me that the masses be able to afford this. It's also like hit and checked all the boxes, like clean, safe, non-toxic, Leaping Bunny, EU and UK compliant. We're going for Canada now. It was named the best exfoliating face wash 3 years in a row by Birdie Beauty. Just saying.
I just want to say is that you started and you perfected like number 1. And by the way, for everybody listening, the reason why we're saying 1, 2, 3, or 4, and when you go to the website, so reflektskincare.com, which we'll put in the show notes and everything else so you can look at this too, the bottles have numbers on them. So that's where you can see like the number 1 face wash, number 2, number 3, number 4. So can you continue? I just wanted to update somebody's driving in the car and they're like, why do they keep on saying number 1? What are they talking about? Now you know.
You're an expert. What can we say? You not first time at the rodeo. Thank you for clarifying. I actually haven't done a lot of podcasts. I get invited, but yours sounded so intriguing. I loved your energy and what you promote. So obviously we signed on. But yes, they are numbered. Everything is about simple yet effective. That was another thing that I wanted to hit. Another was non-gender. We sell 30% men. They love it because it's simple. They instantly notice if they have ingrown hairs. It gets rid of your blackheads. These are things, you know, dudes notice.
And so the men also like the numbers. I'm going to tell you right now, Nancy, the men love the numbers. When I first opened up the beautiful packaging, and I'm like, oh, now I don't have to think about which one I was supposed to do first.
No,
I'm going to throw this out there. The men love the numbers. Go ahead, continue. It doesn't surprise me, even though it's beautiful and elegant.
Yes, it is, and it can be confusing because there's so much noise out there for skincare. It can get confusing. So I wanted it luxurious. I wanted it affordable. I wanted it very simple. Yet every single product works obviously in tandem best as a group for the 4-step regimen, but also individually, Adam. Every product, it was very important to me that they stood on their own, right? And that they actually worked and had efficacy on their own if people choose to mix in with what they're already using. Another thing that was very important was I really thought outside the box. And I was very criticized in the beginning, but I just tried, and this word is often overused, but I just tried to be authentic to myself and what I thought was missing in the market. It was the simplicity with the efficacy and being super luxurious yet affordable, but it was also about outer boxing. I felt that I held those boxes of gorgeous products I had purchased, and although I loved them, they went into the trash bin. And then when I started sourcing, I have really expensive taste. They were really expensive. And I said, this makes no sense to me. What if I take this money and I put it into higher quality raws? And I give products that are just killer. And, you know, because there's hyaluronic and then there's hyaluronic. Like everything in life, you can shop at Walmart, you can shop at Neiman Marcus. There's varying degrees, right? So I ditched the outer boxing and did tamper-proof packaging. And let me tell you, between that and saying, yes, you can exfoliate, not only every day, but 2 times a day, whoa, I was killed. I was killed, from beauty editors to just customers, people like, that's impossible, you'll ruin my barrier function, and da-da-da. But now, thankfully, we are much more well-known, and people understand that I did create this differently and that it's gentle enough and intended to be used twice a day. It's not your standard exfoliation. And also, other people, I will say, and I'm not bragging, I am a humble person, I was the first person to create a product that said you can exfoliate twice a day. So I was really climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. However, now there are other brands that do this. They do it very differently than Reflekt, but they do, so it's being talked about more. And I invite it because it makes my journey so much easier, right? It made it. And also with no other packaging, we're saving the environment. Double whammy.
Yeah, I think that's all a big win. Let's go further into some of the process. Let's get into the 2, 3, and 4 of what people can expect.
Yes. Okay, so 2 is our serum. It's a vitamin C serum, and something I learned about that was I was very against, and I told my head chemist, I'm not putting vitamin C. Our brand never, ever will burn, sting, irritate. I was adamant that none of that be present in our products. And I said, vitamin C burns, it tingles. He said, no, let me teach you. If you use a very high quality vitamin C, it does not do that. It's a brightening. It's wonderful for brightening. You will have no burning if you use this high quality, right? Because vitamin C is a very volatile ingredient atom in general. It's once opened and exposed to air, it can sting and burn a bit. So our serum is clear, it's silky, it absorbs right into the skin. It boosts your elasticity, it plumps the skin, it increases collagen production, evens your skin tone. It's gorgeous. And there's beautiful peptides in it that firm and reduce the appearance of pores, honestly. And the best part is for all skin types. Like, you can be super hypersensitive and use this brand. We stand behind every single product. Reflekt 3 is our Power Peptide Sculpting Face Cream. It's super dewy. I had an editor and I said, can I please use that phrase? She said, my skin is bouncy. It's like plump and glowing and bouncy. I'm like, can I please steal it? It's so good. And so I say that's what it does. It renews dull skin, and it again reinforces that elasticity and prevents the collagen breakdown, and it locks in the moisture. It's that polyglutamic acid, which increases that production of natural moisturization, right? And it reinforces the skin's elasticity. It works in conjunction with the hyaluronic. So it's just absolutely beautiful. There's squalane in it, collagen-stimulated peptides. And what I want to explain to people, and then I'll get into number 4, our last of the regimen, is that obviously I could not put a physical exfoliant into a serum, a face cream, or an eye and lip cream, right? So what we created, because I can't use that magical bead that we use in Reflekt 1. So what we created is something called the Reflekt Complex. And this is all on our website, by the way, under our clean standards, so people can really read in depth. Again, it's really simply explained. I'm all about that simplicity, Adam. So it's very simply laid out. And what this complex does is it consists of a series of AHAs, which are all natural exfoliants. right? So it is pomegranate, pineapple, kiwi. It's absolutely beautiful. It's a natural alpha hydroxy acid. That's what those are. And mangosteen. I could go on, and they're combined in one formulation that accelerates the cell renewal and dramatically improves the skin's appearance, right? Smoothing and illuminating, just like that bead. However, it's used in various percentages depending upon the other ingredients, the other active ingredients I'm using in my other products, right? Like the cream will use different actives than the serum, than the eye and lip cream. So it depends on what is being used. It's used in different percentages, but always that same Reflekt complex. So it just works beautifully as the exfoliator, right? And then different hydrators feed back the skin on each product. That's how it works for exfoliation, hydration at every step. Does that make sense to you?
Oh my gosh, it does. And I'm just hearing you talk about it. I feel like my skin's getting refreshed. I can't help it.
I promise you.
Well, no, it's because you also, like, you know how when you're educated on something and then I had the experience because I'm using the product, of course, which is amazing. So I have that piece, but now when you have the knowledge behind it, it's like my brain's like going like, oh, that's why. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
That
oh,
makes
okay.
me feel super
it's amazing.
happy. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. It never gets old, trust me. And I just want to say our last product of the regimen is Reflekt 4, and it's our Smoothing Squalane Eye and Lip Treatment Cream. So the skin, the tissue under your eye is the same tissue around your lips, not on your lips. That's our next product coming in fall, by the way, a lip treatment balm, but that's not out yet. But right now, this goes around your lips, that tissue that is the first to wrinkle. It gets dry. There's very low oil production. So this is used, you dab it on that ring finger, you go around your eye and around your mouth. It takes less than a second. And under the eyes, it minimizes puffiness, it smooths fine lines, it lifts sagging skin, it hydrates and softens. It literally works double duty in your routine because it renews that delicate skin around the eyes and the lips for a brighter, smoother, more hydrated appearance, if that makes sense. And then the special thing, which I'm super into in this product, is we use sustainably sourced avocado polyphenols. If they're ugly avocados, apparently nobody wants them. So that is what they extract the avocado oil from. And this actually increases microcirculation and depuffs the underarm. Oh, the under eye. Oops.
Oh, yeah. No, I know what you meant. I know what you mean.
Do not use this under your arms, people. Do not.
No, under eye, duh.
Under eye. It's Thursday, and because of the holiday, it feels like a Friday.
No, that's great. Oh, this is great, and I love the regimen. I love the simplicity. Obviously, I love the affordability. Like even when I seen that, and I was like, wow, you can get like a full regimen for a good value, and then you never know. I mean, I know because I know you, and I obviously did my research on this, and I've gotten to know you, I should say, through the interview process. So I know the quality and what you the heart and the work you put into it. But to see you pull it off. And then even the little things like the packaging, and well, that's a big thing because you're helping the environment, you're saving the environment, you're not wasting money. And I for one, as a client and customer, am happy that you're putting that money back into quality products versus a quality box I'm going to throw away anyway. So I just love the way you designed the whole process. Yeah, and you're right. You're right.
But I have to tell you, just because you said to me, Nancy, be really transparent. Tell everything, just tell everything the truth. Yeah. I have to be honest with you. It's made my journey challenging. It's not been easy, but I am able to pull it off and look back now. I was able to do that, but not without shedding a lot of tears. It's not easy.
What keeps you going? What keeps you strong as an entrepreneur and because everybody listening to this, we have a big entrepreneur base as well, and ups, downs, everything in between. What keeps you strong? What keeps you going?
You know what? At the end of the day, because I have shed and continue to shed lots of tears, I have really great days where you get huge wins, and then days where I'm just like, how am I going to move forward today? I believe that it is knowing that the cream always does rise to the top. I'm a dreamer, Adam, and I really believe in that philosophy. And I know that Reflekt truly, truly works. We have almost zero returns. Not kidding you. I wouldn't just say that.
Yeah.
Because we do take back within a time period if people aren't happy. I have such a low percentage that I used to lie about it. Like when I first hired my sales team, because I thought they're not going to believe me. But like my mentor said, do not lie. Tell the truth. It doesn't matter. They'll see for themselves. But putting product out there that really works, that I'm changing people's skin through Reflekt, and that it is affordable but beautiful. I said, I know this product's going to prevail. No matter how challenging today is, I've got to just stay on the path and look straight ahead. It's not easy. I mean, it's crazy if people tell you it is. And I had no idea what I was getting into in a whole nother world. I had no idea. And maybe that's the beauty of it, because if you did know, I don't know that people would become entrepreneurs in such a difficult
I wouldn't have.
space.
I'll pick on myself. I wouldn't have. If you would have told me I'd be like this many, I'm going on 7,000 interviews. I'm like, and I knew all that was going to take to do that. I'd have been like, nope, leave me at my job.
I know. Same.
I'm saying for me. I'm not speaking for you. I'm speaking for me. When somebody asks me.
I think it. I swear, Adam, I have to tell you, truthfully, I feel the same. However, I pause a little bit in agreeing only that then Reflekt wouldn't affect, it wouldn't be here. What would I use on my skin?
No, absolutely. And
I'm
then,
in love with it.
As one of your clients and customers myself, I'm happy you went through that pain, not because you had to experience it, but because now I am the beneficiary. My skin is the beneficiary of this amazing 4-step process that I can just do in the morning. I can do it twice a day. I mean, you're pioneering things with your face wash, and now there's other brands doing it. So, I mean, that's obviously different formulas, different things, but just even the concept of doing a face wash, that's going to be.
I welcomed it.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
I was ecstatic when I saw that. I go, oh my gosh, I was a pioneer and I never intended to be. Like, it wasn't my plan. It just happened, right? Like, I didn't plan, I'm going to create something that's not no, I just went about my business, put my head down. I'm a super hard worker. I grew up in the Midwest. It's just sort of ingrained in me, all my brothers, my family. And I don't know, I have blinders on. I'm very, very naive. And I think you need an element of that. I really do. And it was hard to strike that balance between simple yet effective. That was very challenging for me. And people are like, well, how are you doing that? How are you keeping it so simple yet it still works? And they would really like try to get a rise out of me. And I said, because you know what? I'm using very high quality raws and chemists to formulate with me. And that makes a huge difference. Hence no outer packaging, which turned out to save the environment, which is beautiful. And I literally do not settle for any formula that isn't next level and effective on its own. And I speak to that now with my lip. I just signed off on it. I'm version like 18, I think it was.
Wow.
I just signed off on the formula. I went through 31 jojoba ester beads before I picked the one in Reflekt one.
Wow.
Not kidding.
Wow. 31.
31 tries. My last one, I was bonkers. And one time, it's so funny, one time I said to them, they were very frustrated. I saw it on the Zoom, and I'm all like, okay, I just bet you're putting pins in my doll. I was saying it as a joke, and they were silent. I was like, oh my gosh, you are putting pins in my doll because you're not even saying no. And then they're like, no, Nancy, we love you. And I'm like, no, they're putting pins in my doll. I'm sure of it. But once it was formulated and out on the market and they saw what we created, they were so happy, because I just only want to create products, Adam, that are necessary to create healthy, pH balanced, glowing skin. And pH, your pH, just in case people don't know, is like how oily you are, how dry you are. When you have that properly balanced, you don't have dry spots. You don't have breakout. You simply have healthy skin. You don't need a piece of litmus paper to test if it's at 5.5 because that's optimal, right? It just automatically is there. And your pores are smaller and you're very even looking. Like people say, you know, I personally, and I'm not 25, 35 anymore, I personally don't inject or do any kinds of injections or chemical peels or anything like that. I get a facial every month, but I don't believe in anything that's super invasive. I love microdermabrasion. I love microneedling. I love things that are not going to your skin's barrier function, but will still be effective. Like microneedling has some downtime, but it's actually excellent for you. It's a very old method and it's fabulous. But I just don't believe in harsh treatments. And that's why I believe that Reflekt was the perfect accoutrement to that. Do you see? Because it was nothing harsh, yet it works. So it's all about the transparency of your skin, and that people say, oh, but I have the 11 lines by my eyebrows. I go, look at me, so do I. I said, but you know what? People constantly tell me, oh my God, your skin's so beautiful. You know, which, I mean, it would be an occupational hazard if it wasn't, right? It has to look
Wouldn't it? Wouldn't it?
But the truth, I have to. But the truth is that because people don't notice a line or two, we're all aging. They notice the texture of your skin, how vibrant your skin is, that it's just like really glowy and clean and fresh looking. That all is due to a proper pH balance.
Love it. Nancy, this has been absolutely amazing and also eye-opening for me, understanding my skin regimen and adding things to it. So this is just, it's so much fun for me, and I appreciate you coming on. I know I left the website once, but let's leave it again. So reflektskincare.com for the website, REFLEKT skincare.com. And again, we'll put the link in the show notes, REFLEKT skincare.com. And Nancy, if somebody wants to follow social or anywhere else, how do they do that?
Oh, I would love it. I would love it. You can follow us on Instagram. There's 2 profiles. One's brand new. That's my Tastemaker one. But our company profile is at Reflekt with a K Skincare. I'll tell you about that in a second. At Reflekt Skincare, and then at Nancy Schnall, which is just my name. We'd love it if you follow us. We share really cool information and tips. We have something on our website called the Smish. It's all things curated, and that's my Tastemaker arm, an editorial arm of this brand. And it's really seen on social through Nancy Schnall. And it's everything from all my passions about great tips and tricks for cleaning, makeup, knitting, baking, cooking recipes, all my passions, because it was getting a little messy in our skincare brand. So like, nah, we got to separate this out. So we share all of that on social and also on the Smish on our website. It's a very simple website, so you'll see it there. And the reason it's a K and not a C, for those of you wondering, is because there's meaning behind every choice I made in this brand. I launched on my parents' wedding anniversary. My LLC name honors my mama. I thought of Reflekt because my mom always said, it took me 3 weeks when I created the company, because she said beauty is reflected from within. And I thought of it very late night during a shower, and I ran out the shower, I typed it, and then I backspaced and changed the C to a K. Because I don't know, I'm quirky. So maybe that like suits my quirkiness. I don't know. But that's why it's a K.
Amazing. And for everybody listening, we'll put all that information in the show notes, so you can just click on it and head right on over to check out the socials as well. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters or listening to an episode, we're all about bringing on business owners, entrepreneurs, and executives and having them share their mission, the reason behind their mission, you know, why they do what they do, and what we can all learn from it so we all grow together. This is, again, hit that subscribe button. This is a daily show. Each and every day we're bringing you new entrepreneurs and new visions. So definitely hit that subscribe button. We don't want you to miss a thing. And Nancy, again, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Oh, I had a great time. Thanks so much, Adam.